Yeah, hello? Where voices, topics, and legendary stories come together? Yeah, I can get you connected. Switching to line one.
It's video time, kids.
Hey, welcome to the Switchboard Podcast. Obviously, we're not in the studio today, but we're still able to make this happen. Episode 10, I've got Nic Sauve, Daniel Ek, and Kevin Keller. We're going to reminisce about some times. Stay tuned. This episode is brought to you by BYOB, Be Your Own Banker. I got a personal story. I was looking for a safe place to park my cash, be able to invest responsibly. Chris and his team had the answer. Visit BeYourOwnBanker.com. Also brought to you by PMC, Private Money Club. There are only two types of people in the world. People with money and people who need money. There's only one community that solves both problems. PrivateMoneyClub.com is the only dating site for money. Welcome to Switchboard Podcast, episode 10. I've got my man Nic Sauve, Daniel Ek, and Kevin Keller, our glorified babysitter. I'm stoked to have you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Psyched to see the boys. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I know this is like a sick little reunion. And Kevin, literally since you gone, and I've seen like 3 more gray hairs pop up.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, yeah. It's slowing down.
Boys are looking good, I think.
We're aging gracefully, I would say, for like everybody except Kevin. Well, I think, Kevin, you're starting to age slower now. You don't have to deal with me and Daniel. Nic was never a problem for you because he's the golden boy. But Daniel and I were definitely a problem.
Yeah, Nic helped balance things out from that
end. Well, I mean, how long has it been since we've all, like, obviously not in the same place, but, you know, had a conversation? 15 years?
15?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Hell yeah. Let's do a quick background. Like, Nic, what have you been up to since, you know, walking away from I don't know if you snowboard. I know you don't snowboard professionally anymore, but like what's life been like? I know you got some kids, but enlighten us.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, over 15 years, a lot of things have gone by. I still snowboard, but like definitely not as much as I used to. I snowboard with the kids. My daughters are actually they're skiing. It was just so much easier to get them on skis, and it took like one season, you know, they're skiing. So I go ride with them, and as far as I'm concerned, if they want to snowboard, I'm gonna get them on a snowboard. But for now, it's just skiing, and it's just been fun that way. And it gives me an opportunity to get back on the board. Otherwise, I don't know. I would barely ride. I think I've just been like going with more variety in my life. I think, you know, like I used to be like obsessed with snowboarding, like all of you guys. And it used to be everything, but then it, you know, over the years, it just like moved and transformed into like many other interests. We were just chatting and mentioning like Danielle is building some trails, and I've been building mountain biking trails around where I live. So this has been something I've been up to. And my life since I quit snowboard. Well, I mean, we like sort of quit professional snowboarding has been like kind of one thing leading to another. So to make it a quick recap, like, yeah, like my interest in action sports, for example, like somehow led to mountain biking, which was one of my go-to things after snowboarding. And it's funny to say, but this biking thing got me into some opportunities in management, like a recreational center, like site, partly owned by the city. Anyway, it got me some opportunities to work there, I managed a place with 50 employees for several years. And then this gig or this job got me into another thing, which is private investment into the site where we were operating the activities. So we had Nordic skiing, backcountry skiing in the winter, or I mean snowboarding as well, like split boarding. That's where we have the mountain biking trails, and then there were opportunities to invest in some of the land, and then that led to some private investment, and we got some cabins built. I created a management company to help get these the new properties that we were either building or some other people were investing on the site. And now that's what I'm doing full time is a management company for those short-term rental properties that are all within a big recreational trail network that I used to run, and I built a lot of the trails for it. So it's just been like this succession of things that just randomly I sort of got into. Um,
Sick.
yeah,
That's
That's
so
so
that's what I've
sick.
been
And
up
you
to.
have two kids, correct?
Yeah, so that was like the sort of hobby to professional side of things. And yeah, I have two daughters. They're now 6 and 8. So we live. So everything that's happening, like for me, I don't have to drive through any traffic in the morning. Like I operate uh, these these cabins basically. They're just like a bunch of architectural cabins. They're in Lac Beauport. That's one of the town is. It's like 20 minutes north of Quebec City, like downtown Quebec City, where we used to film all this stuff. So we're just 20 minutes outside the city. I'm raising my kids there. They go to school there. We have some of the ski hills. That's where they're located. Um, Stoneham and Relais. These are the little Quebec ski hills. So that's where we are. So raising the kids there, working and building the business and the company there. So yeah, it's just like life's been good and fun in Quebec City.
That's dope, man. I miss going out there. Yeah, I'm just gonna go round robin like how everybody appears on my screen. So
Yep.
Kevin, after being a glorified babysitter for many years, dealing with people like myself and Daniel and other people, what's life been like for you? Probably a lot less stressful, huh?
It's been so chill. Like the great thing, but it's been chill. No, I mean, after I left you guys, I went over to Burton for a couple years. Was a global TM there. When I left Burton, I tried to do the agent thing for a minute, which was the worst idea because that was right after the 2014 Olympics and nobody had money or really cared at the moment. And I'm not a sales dude. So I jumped out of that, got into some work, account managing and project managing for an environmental design agency, which is really rad. Like did a lot of work with Adidas, did a lot of different like cool stuff that was totally outside my window. And then at some point I just picked up a camera for fun, and 10 years later I'm the photographer now. So I still get to shoot a ton of action stuff. I was at Sean's contest this winter, Snow League, shooting a bunch. I've been out with Pat shooting photos like over the past few years with Hannah Beeman. So still kind of in the loop with the boys and the crew. Still in with snowboarding a bit, but now it's kind of almost my full-time thing. So it's dope. And
Wait, you said you've been out with Pat Moore shooting?
yeah, I shot some like 2 different campaigns with him for BCA, which is pretty hilarious. I still see him all the time. Or not all the time, but recently.
Often
Like
enough.
I still keep in touch with the boys. I talked to Eddie last week. I mean, he lives 45 minutes away up in Topanga. So I see Nico. I golfed with Chaffee last week, dude. And that kid's crushing it.
Yeah, that was last Sunday, right? Because I talked to him and he was golfing with you guys.
Yeah. I was with him in Rocky. So it was dope. But
Hell
I
yeah.
still keep in touch with most of the boys.
That's what's up. I think Nick dropped off, but he'll come back on. So, Daniel, tell what's life been like for you, man? Out in
It's
Norway.
good. Norway. Norway is nice, but definitely miss California a little bit for sure. Like this now it's super nice in the summer, but it gets a little harsh in November, December when it's like dark and cold and no fucking snow, just ice.
Yeah, because you're kind
It's a
of
little
far
bit
away
harsh.
from like where it snows a lot, right? Or does it snow a lot in your area?
No, where I come from, it's just like ocean town, so it's just like more ice and yeah, it's like Nick said, I got super into mountain biking lately. So I bike a lot in the winter too with like ice tires.
Oh, sick.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, that's fun when it's just cold and icy, you know?
And you got your son there too, right? Living with you?
Yeah, he's 19 now.
Holy
He's
hell,
like
dude.
yeah, he's my stepson, but they're from Lake Tahoe, so I got him when he was 5. So I had him for a while, yeah.
I think a
So
little bit more
he
than
was
a
just
while,
done with the Norwegian celebration. They just when they fucking go buck on the buses and stuff. So he's done with that, done with school. So he's going into college. I think he's gonna do like cybersecurity school.
Oh,
Smart.
sick. That's
Yeah,
super sick.
he's really smart with computers. That's what he loves to do, and he plays volleyball and golf. That's the only thing he does. He likes snowboarding sometimes, but golfing
No,
and volleyball is definitely his shit.
yeah. I mean, that's not a bad. Those aren't bad activities to be involved in. There's a lot less risk than what we do or what we did.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah. I
Sick,
still
sick.
struggle with my ankle, from that hip. Like that's so
Oh,
painful
just hold
still.
on to that because we're gonna get into all of that. So,
Yeah.
let's dive into talking about obviously why we're all here. We are all part of Forum and film videos and we all traveled together and had a lot of fun. But um, quick question, man. Was anybody in that or am I the only one that was in that? Because I think Nick, you came after that. Am I right, Kevin?
Yeah. I wasn't
So
even
did
around.
you?
I was only in for like post production on that. So I started in December of '06, and that finished like editing summer of '06. So I was there
Oh
for
yeah,
like
yeah.
back then. You were the only one in it.
Okay.
That's
Okay, then that
Yeah.
brings me to my next question. What was the first video? Let's look, Daniel, since you're right there. What was the first video that you were in for Forum?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
I don't
you only
remember, but
Daniel on the
I
screen.
remember when I met you. That was the that premiere in Austria. Remember that when I was right because I was on with John Weaver in
Oh
Europe,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you came with Jake Blavel, Jake Wells, and it was you.
Oh, sick. Yeah, yeah.
Remember that?
Yes. Is that the day you stole
This
the kid's bike and went back to the hotel from the after party?
no, that was in Canada. That's in Whistler. That was I broke both my arms.
Oh no, you took the kid's skateboard
Karma,
and
bro.
skated back.
Hey,
You
that's
just
my
took his
bike. And
skateboard.
I turned around and I fucking hit that stupid ass black pole. Both my arms. Remember, I couldn't even lift my board backs when we left. Like, so swollen. Oh my God.
How could I ever forget? We're gonna get into some more of those stories, but yeah, I just kind of
That
wanted
was
to
in
get.
Whistler. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
yeah.
I think you stole a skateboard that day actually, and went home. I wouldn't say you stole it. You just took it, you used it as your transportation to get back to the hotel, and just didn't bring it back to him.
That was in
That's
Innsbruck. When
Oh, that was
I
in.
had
Okay.
no, I was like at the premiere. I was like, "Fuck this fucking premiere! I'm gonna go do some punk shit." And like, I went into the city and met some like kids, and they were like super punk kids, and we were super far. And I got so lost. had no idea how to get back to the like. I couldn't find you guys. So I was like, dude, I need a skateboard because I'm so lost. I am so lost. And I saw this dude skating on the big park. I'm like, bro, can I just try your skateboard? And I was just out. And then Weaver in the morning, he's like, did you steal somebody's skateboard last night? I'm like, yeah. How do you know that? He's like, because that was the guy I know in Innsbruck. He called me, and it was a kid from Forum who stole his skateboard.
and this is what it's like being a team manager dealing with you guys. It's
No,
not
I know.
showing up to the premiere, going out in town, stealing like somebody's that actually knows you and having to explain.
Retards. Oh my gosh.
Nah, I mean, yeah, that was. I just remember that. Like that was. I just remember the next day. It was just like so funny. Like Daniel just stole a skateboard, but
Sick.
So
So then, Daniel, what was your first video that you filmed before him? Was it
I
fucking
don't remember.
him and Nick
Kevin? You
were
probably remember.
first chair, last call. So it
Oh,
was
first year. Oh yeah, first year last call. And Nick, you were in first year last call, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Was that was
First
let's
year,
actually
last call. Yeah. Huh?
After
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
they wanted to do something that was focused on the outerwear brand. So it was first year, last call, and north, south, east, west for Foursquare.
Yeah. Let's dive into that actually. That's a good topic to start on to kind of get our feet wet. So the first chair last call was where we were all in Snoqualmie, right?
Yeah.
Dude soup. So let me ask you a question, Kevin. And Nick and Daniel, I want you guys to elaborate on this as well because I'm pretty sure we got the short end of the stick because we went to Snoqualmie and the Foursquare guys went to Dubai. What's up with that? I need you
So
to explain yourself.
that was about
Our
the
trip
last
sucked,
time.
remember?
Yeah.
And Jake
But
was just in the heli and just chilling, like, oh, we went surfing in Newport, and then we went up to Big Bear.
yeah, so that was based on like the two different vibes of the movies. Like Foursquare was north, south, east, west, and I think that was like Svalbard in Norway. So we went up and I think Blaveld almost got eaten by a polar bear. like there were polar bears like around the camp that the guards had to scare off, or the scouts or whatever. There was Dubai. There was Southern California, which was like that day was supposed to be like skate or surf in the morning, snowboard in the afternoon, and then skate in the evening. So we took helicopters up to Mountain High from the beach to make the day go faster and back home. And then we shot skate stuff on this dude Ryan Young's mini ramp over in
Did
Costa
you
Rica.
go on that trip, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course he went on that trip. Of course he went on that trip. Why would he come to Snoqualmie with us? Of course he went on the good trips.
I was in
But you were in
Snoqualmie.
Snoqualmie. I know, but that's after.
And I didn't
You
go to
spent the-
Dubai.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I didn't go to Dubai or home. So
Yeah.
So,
Sorry,
and Nick,
dude.
that was yeah, I know. I was always mad about that. Like, wait a minute, like you guys got the sickest trip, and we're dude souping it in Snoqualmie with Kareem too.
yeah, that's because we trusted Pat, well, and Blavel way more in Dubai than we could ever trust. Like, imagine Daniel stealing
I
shit
was
over
just
there.
with Kareem actually in Iceland at Haldor's snowboard contest. That was so fun. Kareem is the man.
I bet.
He
Yeah, I love
ripped
Kareem.
up some tacos in Sweden too.
I
That guy.
bet. Yeah, he's got a pretty sick spot.
Yeah, they're fire.
Yeah.
Is he
Nick,
cornrow?
I know. I'm glad you're back in. Can you hear me? Are you good, Nick? I thought he was just smiling, but is he frozen?
He's frozen.
Is he?
I think his internet sucks. Well, we'll just keep this rolling when he jumps back in. I wanted to kind of get his perspective, but let's start from the early days. Daniel, like obviously you got on forum, but what was your experience before getting on forum? Like, what was your background? Were you hey Kevin, sit down?
Kevin, we're the managers now.
Sit down,
Bro,
Kevin.
get
I'm the
the
team
fuck
manager
back
now.
in the shit.
Now, what was your like? Were you a fan of forum before you got on forum, or like how was that whole thing like unravel for you? Because it's always interesting
Yeah,
to
for
find out
sure.
everybody's journey.
I was always I was like the little small town I was from. I was always hanging out with like older skaters, and I remember like they came to school and this like, dude, this new fucking snowboard movie's out, and it was like what is it called? Resistance.
Oh, the
Resistance.
yeah.
Yeah, and we watched that, and then it was just like we were hooked, you know. And then True Life came, and we saw True Life. We're like, dude, Forum is what we want to ride for. Like, Forum was the shit. So
Were you riding for any other brands before you got on forum?
I was on Hammer snowboards from France. Sarah Lowry was on Hammer too, actually.
What was your plug to getting on the pro team for forum? Did you go through Jonathan Weaver? Shout out to Weaver, by the way.
It was actually my homie, the tourist, that was getting on the European team, and he brought me because I was on the Norwegian forum team. So my homie always brought me in to when he dropped out of Norwegian, he went to Weaver's. I got on the Norwegian team with forum, and then he was on European, and then he brought me into European, and then I started filming with Eastern 7, like the Germans. And I was on 2 weeks trip with them in Breckenridge, and they didn't speak English one fucking time. I was freaking out. I'm like, dude, gotta get away from this shit. And then that day when I was like, I just gotta go ride by myself, I met Andreas Vig in Breckenridge, and he was like the opener for me here. So like, yo, I could just call Brian Knox. He'll get you on forum. He's a new team manager on forum. And 3 days later, I had a fucking $50,000 contract. I was like, "What the woo, Andreas, let's go!"
Yes. Yeah, that's
And I was
that's it.
done
So
with
let me
the
talk
Europeans, Germans, back with the Americans. So like that was so sick.
That's
Daniel,
dope.
let me tell you a really funny story about you getting signed that you may not have ever heard, and I'm not going to name any names. So,
You gotta mention names now.
well, just maybe in the end, but hear me out. So, we had, before I started, there was a sales meeting in Austria, and that's probably the one that you were at, Stevie. It was in like December.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
somebody from marketing over there, from the US side, that heard about you and like another rider or two, right? And I'll just say this other rider was also blonde, and they saw you guys all ride together, right? And at the time, they got you and this other rider mixed up because they had you at like, this person was like, Daniel is the fucking sickest. Like, this kid's gonna blow up. And so he calls the European TM. He's like, sign this kid. Like, this is how much money we have, like, overall. But I think, like, this is the kid we're going to want to push. And Weaver was like, wait, are you sure? Because I think you mean Daniel. And he's like, no. It's this kid. And it turned out that the other kid got, like, a bigger contract than you. Not much bigger, but, like, a little bit.
Yeah.
But he fucked up and thought he was you and not the other way around. And so when you guys both came over to start filming for First Chair Last Call, you both showed up in the office and you're like, I'm Daniel. And the other kid like introduced himself. And this dude from marketing was just like, I fucked up.
No,
my
man,
God.
that's crazy.
Hey, Nick, I don't know if you've been over here to catch up to speed. We're just talking about like background, how Daniel got on the forum, and this like a mix up in identity. But so who was the other rider then, Kevin? Just say it. I mean, it's
Also ripped. No discredit. Like Peter Koenig was fucking sick.
it's Peter Koenig. Oh, sick. Yeah, Koenig was sick.
So this person got you and Peter confused, your names, right? Because he left Austria and just like he met you for a few minutes. And so basically he thought Peter was riding like you and you were like Peter. So we
Yeah, but
pushed
are you talking about the contest in with Lowry was the judge? It's in Austria when me and Koenig, we got like, because if you won the contest, you were coming to the States. And
Was it a Youngblood contest?
yeah, it was a Youngblood contest, and
Yeah, okay.
me and Peter, we got split first. So they were so confused, and they're like, "Yo, we got to send them both."
Yeah, but this guy wasn't entirely sure of who was who. And
Oh,
basically like really wanted to push for you because
yeah,
no discredit, like again, Peter fucking ruled.
Peter's
Like he
sick.
was awesome, but you were
Yeah.
just like on a different level at that point. And so there was this huge mix up between you two, which never mattered. You guys both filmed equally and whatever else, but it was this huge thing that came back like in the office.
Crazy.
And
Yeah,
that was like my first month being at Forum, and I just knew like that ride was going to be a shit show. But yeah, I mean, I remember picking you up at the airport. I think you were 18 or 19. And
Yeah, I
brought
was
you to
pretty
my
young.
car.
I had a fake passport, remember?
Yeah.
No
And then
way. You had a
Yeah.
wow.
And me, like, I think I was with Daniel for that entire winter. Like, you didn't go back home barely at all that winter. You were just like in the States.
Yeah, I didn't go back because I got my P1 visa. I just stayed.
Yeah.
Sick. That's dope. That's kind of a funny story.
Really
I never
fun.
knew that.
We
either,
had a
so
lot of
that's
fun,
interesting to hear.
actually.
Nobody, like, that was one, like, wasn't my fault, wasn't Knox's fault, wasn't Weaver's fault. Like, nobody, like, it just happened. The
What are we
whole
talking
mix,
about?
the mix
Oh,
up
yeah,
with you guys.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
nobody ever heard that story because it was really obviously like embarrassing and not a good look. But it all worked out. I mean, you guys had your opportunities to come over and film just as much, and it was such a good 2 years. Like when you guys,
Yeah, it was really sick.
yeah.
But the back to the story what we talked about, like when I filmed with Peter Koenig and the Eastern 7 crew, and I met Andreas in Breck, then right after that, Knox signed me because Andreas called, and then I got like the actual contract with the American with the P1 visa and everything.
Was that a do tour?
That was the year Andreas won X Games.
Okay, I think
The first X Games he won.
okay.
Yeah. So I was riding in Breckenridge on that park was huge. Like the park in Breckenridge then. So I was riding with Jussi and then Andreas, and we were just lapping all day.
Okay.
And then they were practicing for X Games.
Okay, because I remember going there with you for a do tour, and everybody was just like, "Who is this kid?" And I don't know why the second jump in the park, you would just go back rodeo 7 to flat. And like you
Yeah,
did
but
it
they
the
When did he
fucked,
ever catch a
dude.
landing?
You
When
know
did
the
he ever
last
catch a
jump.
landing? He never
You know
catches
the
landings.
last jump.
Ever.
The
Yeah.
last jump was so good. It was so big, and then everybody complaining, and they redid it to like this tiny little last jump, and it
Yeah.
was just fucked. I couldn't even ride it. Like I cannot ride meat. Like it's got to be either like really big or like I don't know.
Only
It's,
Daniel
it's
that,
like
dude. Yeah, that's
So
Daniel's style.
true.
Like just as
I
big as
remember I
possible.
rode like I tried to land back 5 in the back of it with Pat. We hit this like medium-sized jumps all winter. I tried like back 5 like 300 times, and then we finally hit like a big cliff, and I got it. Thank God.
Damn.
The
And
funniest
Pat was
thing,
just like, finally you got your back 5.
like the TMs at your first contest, because we all sat up in the tent. Your first run, everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's going so fast!" And then you sent it to the bottom of the jump. You stuck it, and people were like freaking out. And I forget who it was. It might have been Creepy Kyle, to be honest. We were standing up in the tent watching the TV of your run, and he goes,
Creepy Kyle.
"Yeah," he goes, "I think
at
he's
him.
going faster this time." And like your second run, you went even faster and even more into the flats and still landed. And I'll never forget people looking around the tent just being like, who is this kid and what is he? It was insane. And that defined your whole like time at Forum. Like
Yeah.
you always just went bigger and faster, and like slow and small was boring. And you just pinned
It was just really hard. Like to not have speed underneath the board. It's like
Yeah,
it's
well-
almost like if you walk really slow on rocks, you like fall over,
Yeah.
you know?
Damn. All right, that's dope. That's a sick story. Kevin, what was your journey? I know you grew up with Eddie. Like, tell us a little bit about your background with like growing up with Eddie. Did you guys grow up in the same town or something, or just grow up in the same mountain?
So I grew up in this little, well, it's not little anymore. If anybody's ever watched The Office, I grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, just outside of it. And so there was a small ski resort 10, 15 minutes from my house. So I'd snowboard every night after school. And then Eddie went to a boarding school like 10 minutes away on a different side. And so he'd always be up on the weekends with his dad, like shout out Big Ed, because I think he's still riding and still competing in USASA.
Yes, he
at
is.
80 years old. And his dad is still like such a legend back home. But
That's sick.
yeah, so I grew up riding with Eddie, and he was always like the dude at the resort everybody knew would probably go try to be a pro snowboarder one day. So when he graduated high school, he packed up everything and he went to Kirkwood to be a nighttime janitor. And he called me that winter. He's like, dude, you need to come out here. Like, it's so insane. So I had all these ideas, like I was going to Tahoe. And then he goes, like, last minute, typical Eddie goes, oh, dude, we're not going to Tahoe. Mammoth is like the spot now. And so like I jumped online, got hired as a nighttime janitor with Eddie. Like we moved into the same condo, clean toilets every night so we can shred every day. And then Eddie went on to be Eddie. Like I took that year, went back to school, got a job in marketing, and then or studied marketing. And Eddie connected me with Evan Rose, who got me my internship at Forum. And then from there, it just kind of snowballed.
Snowball. Yeah, sick. Nick, since you're back, quick question. So, like, I was just saying, you know, French Canadians, we obviously know there's a big group of amazing jibbers. Like, some of the sickest jibbers I've ever seen with my own eyes come from, like, the French part of Canada. And so what was your journey getting on Forum and joining this crew? What, like, did you ride for other brands before? Like, what was your connection there?
Yeah, okay. Here's this whole story, like as rapidly as possible. So I went to Whistler by the end of high school for the the glacier camp, like the
Yeah,
Camp
Camp
of
of
Champions.
Champions.
Yeah. So I went there, and I got noticed there by this was like local, why not local level, but like Canadian level reps. Um, and then so I got home from that summer, and I was contacted by the rep in Quebec City. Well, he was not just Quebec City, but like the whole East Coast for Canada. So he got me on, but that was all locally. And then yeah, so then this guy organized one of the Youngbloods contest. So I went on to win the local Youngblood contest, which was sort of a slopestyle-ish course. And then I was sent to Tahoe for the final of the Youngblood contest series that year. So I went there in the spring and I won the finals of the Youngblood.
I was
I didn't really,
there.
were you?
Yeah.
I don't really remember like meeting anyone. The only person I remember meeting from that Youngblood finals contest was Evan Rose.
Yeah. Evan Rose, what a
Yeah, that's
legend.
it's very
How
memorable.
And
many
Yeah.
how
I
many
was like,
street signs does he have now?
this
A
guy was
fucking
out
restaurant
of
full?
his mind.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, guess who? That's the one who messed up the contracts, Daniel.
Oh, that was
The
damn
chair, of
Rose, damn
course.
Rose. Yeah. No, but continue, Nick. Go ahead.
okay, well, I mean, so then, and I know like Pat Moore was there and a bunch of guys. Like I'm just learning that Daniel was there. Um,
Yeah.
but so yeah, so I went home and that was pretty much it. Like there was nothing really followed up after that until I don't know how, but like you guys were gonna come to Quebec, um, right? Like Stevie, you were coming, and the first
I was coming.
guy, were you like that first?
Yeah, when
I'm,
my hip got out of place on the airline, on the air,
but
Oh
I'm
fucking
talking like,
over
yeah,
plane,
yeah.
over plane, the whole hip just went out of place. I couldn't walk out of the
but
airport.
and was this first chair last call year?
No, it was the year
Well,
after.
Yeah, because you were in, and that's
It's when
form or
when
against
Stevie
them
did
year.
that. You did that front five to war, and Travis Kennedy was there.
Okay, so that's 1 year
that's
after.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so so that's like the first year, sorry, first chair last call year. And I just before you guys came up, I had spoken a few times to Kevin, right? Like you were helping line this up, like having the guys come over to Quebec.
Yeah, I think that was the former against him year because
No,
like
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
because
no. I'm
well,
a
no, no
hundred
former.
percent
No, he's
positive
right.
because
Because
I
no,
remember.
yeah, the special
Yeah,
bling year, we did. I do remember having some shots because I was riding a blank, like a gray blank destroyer in the streets, in Quebec.
there's like no, not a single doubt because I remember it so well because like knowing that you guys were gonna come to Quebec and I was going to be your guide and I was going to have a chance to ride with you guys, this was the opportunity of a lifetime for me. This was like the best shit that could have happened, and this was first chair last call. There's no doubt. And the first guy that flew in, this is pretty funny, was Travis Kennedy.
Oh God.
So I'm picking up. So the first guy from the team I'm meeting is Travis Kennedy, flying in from wherever the fuck he was coming from. And it's 11 at night at Quebec City's airport. I'm picking this guy up and I'm like, what is going on with this guy? He makes me drive all over the city. It's like midnight and he wants to find a hotel. It took like I think he got checked in at 3 in the morning because we went to every single hotels and it had to be perfect for him. So like we went to some high end like fancy hotels. No, they were not good. He wanted something like, I don't know, different vibes. So we went to other ones and then the creepiest one ended up being his favorite, the Ozone. Stevie, you remember that?
I love the ozone, baby. I love the ozone.
I remember
Anyway,
those.
so that was my first contact with anyone on the team, and it was like so memorable. And then you guys all flew in after that. Um, so that's how it started. And then I just, I was your guide, and we got to ride. Jake Welch was there, so there was a mix between four square guys and special blend guys. Um, and I think you went back and forth like a few times that winter.
This episode is brought to you by BYOB, Be Your Own Banker. Visit BeYourOwnBanker.com. Also brought to you by PMC, Private Money Club. There are only two types of people in the world, people with money and people who need money. There's only one community that solves both problems. PrivateMoneyClub.com is the only dating site for money.
Was
back to
JP with us
Quebec.
on those trips?
JP was there on the last trip of the season. So I'm pretty sure there were like three separate trips, like Quebec, specifically Quebec City trips. Because I had like a lot of stuff to show you guys, and back then, like all these spots were kind of unheard of, like all these spots were new. Um, so I think you guys came back twice, and JP was with what's his name? Uh, another
Ryder or filmer?
no, a filmer. He
Was
came
it
with
was it Jaime?
Sean
Was it Current?
Kearns. He came with
Oh,
Kearns.
Currents. Yeah, Currents.
Yeah. So Kearns was there, and that was like super late in the spring. JP did this sort of like fakey drop in. Do you remember that? Fakey dropping into a wall, like from a multi-level parking garage thing.
I'm trying to
Anyway,
think. There's like that's
yeah,
we filmed so much out there. Like I literally I can't even remember all the spots we've hit.
yeah, but like back then, this was like really, I don't know, like new, whatever he was going for, like was pretty cool. Yeah, what JP was doing. So anyway, that was my first season with you guys, and then it just went on. Like, I got offered to like get on the trips and get a proper contract for the following years, and just went on for a few years.
Sick. And how old were you, Nick, when you got on form?
Uh, I'm bad with that. I don't know. Must have been
How
like
old are you now?
21. I'm 39.
You're
Must have
87.
been.
27.
You're same as
Yeah, I'm
me.
87.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would
Okay.
have
So
been
Daniel, how old were you when you got on?
January 07.
What's
What was
that?
that, Kevin?
What's that?
That would have been January 2007.
Yeah.
When I got on, or Nick,
Yeah, just
That was
like
in
December.
2007.
You came on the 06-07 season.
for sure.
Lost
Yeah, and I was 0506.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I was asking that so Daniel, how old were you? You were what, 19?
When I got on Forum,
Yeah.
I was 17 when I got on Forum in Norway, and I
No, I'm
was
talking about like
18
the pro
on the.
team.
I think I was 19.
Okay. And I think I got on at 19. And Kevin, how old were you when you became the team manager?
24.
So we had a 24-year-old babysitting a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds.
Yeah. And like the other thing, yeah, which didn't make a lot of sense. Remember you lost my bags on my first trip to Keystone? You left
Me?
instead of loading the bus.
No. That's not how it happened, dude. Let's
That
correct
was
that story.
CD?
Okay, first of all, there was so many bags we were loading. I got on the bus. I wasn't the last one on the bus.
Steve, it was four
But-
bags of mine.
I need those
I was on the
bags.
bus taking everybody's bags and putting them on the racks. They were getting handed to me, and you left mine on the curb.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nah, I was just curious because it's like it just seemed like such a like pandemonium all the time with just all these riders, and I didn't really realize until now like how young everybody was, and you weren't that much older, so like dealing with all of us like on the road and just was like chaotic. So, do you want to touch on like what it's like to be a team manager for your first go around? You've got a Daniel Leck, you got a Stevie Bell, you got a Travis Kennedy on your team.
Yeah, and it was kind of wild. And to give context, just I'll get into it because this is something I think you can cut in talking about Nick and Daniel. So when I started in December of 06, there was this huge shakeup, and like DC had started,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, Devin, Mika, and Laurie signed to DC and left, like all within a week. And then JP was still on for the remainder of that year, but he was like 1 foot out the door at that point. So right when I started was like the second wave of Forum, which was like you and Kennedy, Daniel, Nick, like those guys coming up. Welch just got to the pro team, Pat, like that was the second, I guess, guard.
And Blaubelt.
Yeah. Because those
Yeah.
guys had all just filmed in that, and then everybody else kind of transitioned out. So it was like really an opportunity for like the young dudes to become the next guys and step into those shoes. For me, it was kind of weird because I had like a long-term relationship with Eddie. Like we were friends since we were like 14. But I remember my first meeting was like at Pete's house, you know?
Yeah.
And growing up, like, dude, Pete was it. So I had like Pete's posters on my wall, whatever. And then all of a sudden one day I'm like hanging out in his house talking about snowboarding and filming and what we're going to do that year. So on one half, like I was super overwhelmed because Pete, JP, Devin, like I'm meeting all these dudes that I grew up watching, but then it's my first job and I get thrown into the fire with like all the rookies, you know? And I think it was really cool because we kind of came through it together and figured it all out like, at the same time. And it was a lot, man, like in the best way possible. Like we were such good friends and had such a good crew. And I kind of had to be a dick sometimes because I just wanted you guys to.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted you guys to snowboard and not party so much, which was like really hard for you and him, you know? But you guys were also like, it kind of didn't matter because you were such this balance of like comedy and fun, and the snowboarding was sick, like to go with it. But I just remember going on some trips and just seeing this stuff go down in like real life. And it was just like in the beginning, I couldn't believe most of it. And that goes for everything. Like that first trip to Quebec that I took, which would have been the former against Amir. I remember Nick showing us around and it was Malmy was there. We had Cole still shooting photos, you know, like
everybody well behaved.
Pet it. Know, and just I remember it being like negative 38 that whole trip. It was freezing. And that one night, like I think Malmy was trying to do like was it front tail 270 out on that like bridge rail that came down, and it was like 2 a.m. and standard Malmy like 70 tries but just won't give up, and everybody's like standing outside. It's negative 45 Celsius in Quebec and like won't give up. Everybody's freezing, and then finally like gets it, and we all like go home that night. But I think we were there for like 2 weeks. We had Alari come out from Finland because he was filming too.
Oh yes, yeah.
So it was Alari, it was Pettit, Cole. Was Rut there?
I don't think so.
I think it was just Cole, right?
Yeah, just Cole.
But you, Kennedy, Nick, Malmy, Pat, and Jake. Yeah, it was 6 dudes.
Yeah,
so that was a good year. Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, super heavy. And let's talk about that. Like now that I look back, well, every time I look back at like my career, my jibbing pretty much was 98% in Montreal or Quebec. That place was endless for spots. Now I understand why so many sick fucking snowboarders come out of that or jibbers or you know all around snowboarders come out of that zone. So let's touch on that. Like Nick, I know you and I spent a lot of fucking time there and shot there's so much for like the thing about there, like you go to Finland, you go to Norway, you go to Sweden, there's a lot of big kink rails, but you go to like Quebec and there's just everything. Literally like everything. It's like a paradise. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but I'm kind of curious if it has something to do with the fact, like the time period of the year that we like have snow for. It's 100% sure that we have snow from almost like November till sometimes like mid-April. It's like 6 months out of the year. The you know the streets and the city is covered in snow. So I don't know. This has to do, you know, with the reason why we were going there so easily, just because like you know there's going to be good snow, right? Because I mean you'd go to fit like I remember looking up to the forecasts a lot more, you know, when we were going to every other places. Like it can be Japan. I remember was it Oslo? Like at some point everything melted. You know, it's just gonna melt. So like you have to fly out. And then going to Japan, we were always looking at forecasts. I don't know, I believe because I've never hit spots in Salt Lake, but it kind of looks like this, right? Like at some point it's just gonna get warm.
Well, Salt Lake's kind of played out, but to be honest with you, like I never filmed a single spot in Salt Lake in my whole career, besides when I was on Tech 9. But it's so played out because it's like such a mecca of snowboarding here. Everybody hits stuff, but It does. I mean, it used to snow and have, a foot or two in the valley for like 3 or 4 months out of the year. But now, honestly, I haven't seen snow in the valley more than 1 or 2 days in 5 years. It's kind of crazy. Like it's like this,
Okay.
especially this winter. It was like 45 degrees all winter.
But before I cut out, like we were saying, like all this stuff happened, like it started 19 years ago, right? Like my first season in Quebec with you guys was 19 years ago. And so we hit spots like pretty much every year of when we were together on forum. Like every year we went to Quebec or Montreal or, the area. But then like afterwards, like I hung up my street board, and the kids kept on riding, kept on, hitting spots in Quebec, and they've been like doing these new spots that those spots were there when we were filming, but you know, just like some of the stuff that the younger kids have hit after I was done were like also on another level, and Quebec has kept on providing these spots, like all these spots were there. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty interesting, but
I
and
also
cool
think
to
too,
see.
it's so much easier to get to Quebec than it is to go to Norway or Sweden or Finland. And it's like I wouldn't say it's half the cost because it's just sometimes it's super expensive to get there as well. But I just think like it's like what 4 hours or 5 hours instead of like 8 or 9 hours of travel time.
Yeah, no, it's easy to go to get to. Yeah,
But
It's
yeah,
like
I,
Nick
I
said
love it.
too. It's always if it rains here, it's just gone in the next morning. Then just ice.
yeah, that's what I remember from
Yeah,
Scandinavia in general.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean we
So
had some good times out there. I mean fuck, we
Oslo
had
was
Daniel out
really
there. We
cool.
had
I actually
we had
met
a
a
good time in
friend,
Oslo.
Stevie, that actually met you when you were out here. He's like, dude, I met your homie Stevie when he was out here in Norway
Oh, sick.
at a bar
He
or something.
probably
Yeah.
Probably Tulin's right at the bar we'd go to every night behind the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
you
lately.
know,
That was like last year. You told me about this. I was like,
oh
oh,
crazy.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know that me and Kennedy and Pettit can find ourselves a little local dive bar to go to every night, like no problem.
for sure.
That's kind of just in our
I missed my
DNA.
flight out of this Oslo trip. I remember that. I was
Uh,
passed out drunk.
but I remember leaving. So just like, do you remember Nick? Like when we were leaving Oslo, and Jeremy Pettit had the rental van, and we all loaded up our gear, and we were all so hungover. We all just got in the shuttle bus to go, and Pettit storms onto the bus, and he's like, "None of you motherfuckers are gonna come ride with me to the airport or help me out." And we are all just like, no." He was so bummed. He was so bummed.
That's when we
You
were
remember
leaving
that?
Oslo.
Yeah, we were leaving. It was me, you, Chaffee,
No,
and
I missed that flight. I missed that bus. I was in the hotel room. I
okay.
Yeah,
Tulins was real good that night, wasn't it?
I think you called me. I think you were like, Kevin, I need a different flight. I missed the bus this morning.
but I made the flight somehow. No, I didn't miss the flight, so I missed the bus. Yeah, I remember this like if it was yesterday. I had my headphones on, so I couldn't hear with music on, so I couldn't hear the wake up alarm. So the wake up alarm was ringing, but I had my headphones on with music, and I just kept on sleeping with music in my earbuds or headphones. Anyway, so I got like
Um,
on a later bus, and you were gone, Stevie, because we were sharing that the hotel room. And I woke up, you were gone, and the bus was gone, and everybody had left, but I was still at the hotel.
Dude, I didn't wake you up. That's like such a dickhead move on my part. I'm pretty
I
sure I
think
tried
we're
to wake
no,
you
we're
up.
but I don't even know. I don't think he knew that we were on the same bus, or I don't know. But I
Uh,
remember missing that bus.
I mean, dude, Nick, you're always like just had the headphones on, like in your own world, which is dope because you need to when you're dealing with a bunch of annoying people on the road for half the year, and we're always in each other's face. But yeah, that was a good trip. That was super fun. So
so before we go, because you guys are on Oslo now, I just want to go back to Quebec City just for two questions that I think would be good for the podcast. Edit
yeah,
this part.
let's dive
But
in.
like one, Nick, like so when you came on and you were given tours of like Quebec when you were the guide, you were in this transitional phase of snowboarding that was going from like rails and more like things were starting to get more technical, but you were kind of the one like leading the charge on big features and drops, like all these crazy walls. I think you were like one of the first people that brought a winch in, like to start filming, right? In our crew.
Probably, but the winch came from Heine, so I don't
Yeah,
know who
Yeah,
used it first, but yeah.
but I
I
think
need
like
one of those. Does he still make those?
I don't think
prob-
so.
I
I
need
don't
a
think so.
probably,
bench, bro. Those are sick. Those are insane.
Yeah,
yeah. But I think that was an interesting time in snowboarding, and it seemed like the Quebec snowboarders kind of got split into like a little like two different categories. Like you had LNP and Louif. Like Louif particularly was like so tech and so
yeah,
like insane on rails. But then you kind of went this
The
other direction.
purists.
Yeah, and you were about like bigger features and started to bleed a lot of that into the forum videos. It became like less rail and more just big heavy features.
Yeah.
After
Yeah, I don't know. It came naturally. Like there was like a hype, I think, between us, like sort of uh, a taste for something new, or just, I don't know, we just wanted to experience new stuff, right? Like just not, I don't know, not necessarily push things in a specific way, but we just wanted to innovate, right? Um, so yeah, so it just kind of came naturally. But I was getting inspired by other guys, if I remember correctly, like because JP was I don't know, a lot of guys were like exploring, whatever you could do with the wall rides, and
yeah.
but like I'm gonna say like Jeremy Jones was one of the the guys who started all this. Jeremy and JP Walker were experiencing with this, and I definitely got inspired by what they were trying to, trying to do, or what they were exploring with their writing. And yeah, so I don't know, I just like came along this vibe and thought it was fitting my abilities, or you know, because I do like uh, to like, yeah, get some speed under my board, like Daniel says.
Yeah.
So like these
I
jib tricks,
remember
they're
how
like
tech you were so technical though, Nick. You were so like pushing
yeah, I
really
was able to
hard.
get tech.
New,
Yeah,
always
but
new
I
tricks,
wanted
like
to
always.
go a little faster than just like the smaller tech stuff,
Little drop and ramp to the rail. Yeah.
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 Well, I think that was like what was cool about our crew too, and I wanted to touch on this because obviously we'd always have like 4 or 5 people, and it would most likely be like, besides Eddie, like four regular footers and a goofy footer. But so we were always kind of like trying to battle, like what are we gonna do on this rail? But I think like from my perspective, we had this dynamic too that was like we did want to get our technical rail tricks, we did want to hit our kink rails, but I also think we were always open to like let's do something that's a little bit unique, like the flat bars, like in the dam that I hit, and like the castle that we spent 4 days at, just getting some creative stuff, and the limb that like Peter went through, and like there was just so much cool shit to do out there, and I think it like the dynamic between our group, we just really wanted to push it, like you said, Nick, in different ways, and I think that's what kind of helped like expand our horizon, I guess, if you will, for like what we were filming for our video parts.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, that's like one of the reason why like Peter Line would fit on a street trip, right? Like uh it started to be much more open-minded, and he just came along and got really good footage out of just random stuff that, you'd find in the city, and it was like really fitting super well into the movie.
Totally, like the switchback one into the wall, like I'll never forget that. That was like so epic. But didn't John Jay
Yeah,
come out to Quebec with us for a little bit?
he did, but I don't, well, I think he did, right? I have this,
I
yeah,
think
this memory.
Kevin didn't John Jay. I'm pretty sure John Jay came out there on a street trip with us.
I don't remember John. I know for sure. I remember Daniel going out because I think he did that
No,
six.
John was there. Me and John was hitting that big tree. You remember when we got towed in with Eddie?
Yeah,
Wasn't it Marquette, Daniel? Did you go to Marquette, Michigan?
Oh, Houghton,
That was
yeah, up
that's when
UP.
where John was. It
Yeah,
was
that's
like
right.
because I remember
minus
jamming on a
negative.
guitar in Michigan with John. It
It was
has to
like
be this trip.
minus 45 Celsius
That
or
was the UP,
something
correct? Copper Harbor.
insane. It was so fucking cold there.
It
You
was
remember
colder
that?
than like all of Scandinavia. Like it was way colder.
It was insane.
That
Yeah,
was the Forever Forum year. That's when
forever.
we went
Yeah,
several times to Oakton and Market.
yeah. That's
It
where
Yeah,
we
was
got the key
me,
to the
Eddie, and
city.
John Jay who was there,
That's we got the key to the
and
city.
Yep.
Pet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Eddie was
that
there.
Eddie was there. We were
Eddie.
there for a while. Pat was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I almost
that's
broke
sick.
my back on that kink rail. That trick was in one of my part, like a down flat, a long flat. I don't know if you guys remember.
Trying to remember.
I
Yeah, I don't remember
clipped
the
and I
rail, but
clipped and
yeah,
I flipped onto my back on the concrete.
yeah. That's. I mean, there's so many stories, but I
How's the
wanted to
body though
get
now? The body's good.
off of.
The body's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The neck is sore this week, and it's definitely like some past whiplash and bales from 20 years ago.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I feel like I'm 18 still, but yeah, maybe a little lucky there. But I wanted to
That's
jump
cool.
into like some of the some more of the meat and potatoes of this thing. So obviously we like those were the golden years. Like I don't know. I know that like the Forum team, like the Forum 8 had it maybe a little bit better than us, but I don't think there's very many snowboard companies on the planet that had as good as we did as far as like budget wise and high production and all that. So I wanted to touch base on like what was it like having like a significant amount of travel budget and money backing our videos to go all these like crazy places, because I know some people that were professional that never even really left the States very often. So I'll start with you, Nick, because you keep getting cut out. But like, what was your overall feeling filming for like such a big budget film like Forum and like staying in all these elaborate hotels? And we were like almost like NFL players of snowboarding. You know what I'm saying? What was that experience
Yeah.
like?
Well, I mean, it was like a dream, to be honest. Like, because I was following. I was a huge fan, right, of the Forum 8, and I grew up watching them, and then, getting the opportunity to be on the team, and it was kind of up to the expectations. Like I knew Forum was doing things big, right? Like that's what it transpired, and looking up to the MacDog videos and to the, that video, and anyway, so when I got on, it was like so cool, and but it was at the same time like that's what I was expecting it to be, right? And Kevin was like a pivot, of all the operations. Like I remember Kevin just lining up the flights, the hotels, the rental cars, and we basically just had to focus on riding. Um, and yeah, it's almost like yeah, basically that's pretty much how it was. But then I was gonna say, I think because I kept on after Forum, I kept on writing and did a few video parts, and some of those parts that I'm pretty proud of, like my last part, and and I made a decision that it was going to be my last part. Um, anyway, that was outside of Forum, so I got an experience of filming outside of Forum, and then that's when I realized how lucky we were. Uh, to be in this package, right? In this format of just being babysitted and having all the right conditions to perform. Um, yeah, I was like, yeah, those were the golden years for sure.
Oh, I 100% agree. Daniel, like, same question to you. You know, like, I'm sure you came
Uh,
through some
my
low budget
my
things before,
favorite with
so.
Forum, my favorite with Forum was like riding in the like landing on the airport and getting the big Suburbans, with all the homies and just like that's it. Like you felt like a real rock star. Like, dude, we're
Fully.
going to some sick ass cabins and do what the fuck we want. It doesn't matter. Like that shit was sick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That was
so
fun.
fun. I'm want to forget that. And I'm gonna talk about tours after, but Kevin, like, because I had Jenner as my team manager at first, and then Kevin Keller. So that was Jenner, which was Jenner's. I love Jenner. Jenner's dope. But I liked Jenner as a team manager because I could expense anything I wanted: CDs, PSP games, PSP players, like anything on the road. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Keller becomes a team manager, and he's always sending shit back to me like, "Yo, what is this, bro? What is this, bro? What is this, bro?" I'm like, damn. I was like, shit. It's not as easy as it used to be. But Kevin, what's your like? I know that you've been in the industry a long time, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about your experience, like in those golden years.
So I think the one thing that none of us really realized at the time, like most of these really good years from, I want to say probably forever, fuck it, up through vacation, like we were in the biggest recession we were in since the Great Depression, right? Like
Yeah.
the US economy was tanked, but we still treated, like, as a brand, snowboarding and the team, like, as such a priority. Like, we didn't cut our budgets to reflect what was happening outside in, like, the economy that we had to deal with, right? Like Burton as a whole, who owned Forum at the time, like, they clamped down on a lot of things, but they realized that, like, the heartbeat of Forum was the team and filming, and they didn't divest from that. So there was pressure on my shoulders in terms of, like, some things had to tighten up and there had to be more efficiencies. Like, it came from the top. Like, we actually had to start going through expense reports and looking at things, like, and you guys had big expense report. I mean, like $35,000 a year travel
Dude, we
budget.
spent a lot of money too.
Yeah, like, you guys spent a
and,
lot, but there were
and we were the
certain,
low budget on the team. I can't even
yeah,
imagine John Jay and them, dude.
B team.
well, that's like for a whole other podcast to going through John Jay's expense reports. But Kennedy had one of the best, like, bits of reasoning I ever heard in my life, and I'll never forget this. Like, I think on one expense report, and Stevie, you just talked about this, but, like, he submitted like $300 from, like, some record store, and we're like, Kennedy, like, what is this? And he's like, yo, dog, CDs. And we're like, what are you expensing CDs for? That's not what your travel budget's for. And he just, like, looked up. He goes, gotta find my video part song, dog. And everybody just looks at one another and we're like, fuck, he's not wrong, you know? And so there was, like, certain stuff that could slip through, but I mean, for a lot of it, we were pretty open to what you guys submitted. There were just certain things we had to, like, trim back on.
Yeah, like my PSP games that always kept coming back to me.
Exactly. But I mean,
Yeah.
looking back, and I mean, I was so young, I didn't realize how bad the economy was at the time. And it wasn't until, like, years after that I was like, holy shit, like, I'm lucky that I still had a job. Like, I could have been easily let go to save money for the brand. Like, that whole department riders could have disappeared, travel budgets could have disappeared, but, like, we kept investing. So it was a really amazing thing to experience considering the outside conditions of the economy.
Yeah, I think that, like, that being said, because the economy was bad, but the money spent on us and the films, I think, reciprocated to Burton. I don't know, like, tenfold as far as, like, income getting back, but I think, like investing in, like Nick, Daniel, John Jay, and the whole team, like, really reflected on us because we produced. I mean, our videos were sick. I mean, we can't hold ourselves to a pedestal like the Forum 8 because we're not the Forum 8, but I feel like we held our own for the second generation of Forum. So how do you guys feel about that? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, we produced. We had good movies. The movies were good.
Had a
Yeah,
lot
the
of
movie
fun.
was great.
This episode is brought to you by BYOB, Be Your Own Banker. Visit BeYourOwnBanker.com. Also brought to you by PMC, Private Money Club. There are only two types of people in the world, people with money and people who need money. There's only one community that solves both problems. PrivateMoneyClub.com is the only dating site for money.
I mean, honestly, like, that was the brand. So if you looked at Forum from a brand marketing perspective, it was team and video, right? And so we had to continue that because that was, like, the root of the brand. I had something else to say and I don't remember what it was, but it was a good point. And I'm just,
You're getting old.
yeah, exactly. I'll come back to it, but that was the big part of it. Was just like that. Without team and video, Forum was nothing, truly. But this is what I wanted to round it up with. Like, nowadays, when you look at marketing from any company, it's all, like, statistics and how many clicks and how many views and, like, what are the analytics on everything. And everything's viewed through this microscope of, like, ROIs, expenditures, like, what are we getting back in views. And back then, like, marketing was just run on vibes. Like, we knew what was intrinsically, like, cool, and we just gave you guys money and said, go do it. And
Yeah,
then
you guys gave a bunch of 18 to 20-year-olds a bunch of money and said, "Here, go travel the world and film some snowboarding."
and look what you did.
Yeah, it was
Like
sick.
seriously.
It was
We
sick.
did not have Instagram. Imagine if we had Instagram Live,
Oh my
bro.
god, dude! If we had social media, it would have been insane. But that's cool.
That would be insane.
I one thing that just popped into my mind that I wanted to touch base on too, because I don't think a lot of people understand the perspective of tour time, like tours, like bus tours. I'm just gonna talk about one tour in particularly. I think it was either Fuck It or Vacation. Nick, you were on the Fuck It one, right? And Daniel, you were too, or was
I
that
was
all
on
Vacation?
both. I was
Both.
on
Yeah, me too.
both.
I was
But
on
I think
both.
Fuck
Yeah.
It was
In
the
Europe,
one
though.
that was on a other level, right?
Yeah,
The two level bus and
yes,
everything.
Both were
yeah. So
same bus.
Okay.
that one, the F It tour was absolutely insane. Like that was one of the craziest things I've ever experienced. That bus, all the stops. Kevin, you were there too, correct? Is that the one?
Oh
where
yeah,
Cat ran
Kevin
off?
was there.
Oh no, that was Vacation.
No, he
It
was
was one
on
of them.
Fuck It.
Yeah, because he got lost at Oktoberfest.
And that
Who?
was Fuck It.
Yeah, Pat. He
Who
ran
got
off.
lost?
Pat. He
Pat.
ran off into the streets of Munich, and we couldn't find
Oh,
him.
Pat Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably Fuck It.
Yeah, well, Nick, I'll let you go first, but let's dive in. Let's just give like the viewers a little bit of background of what it's like to be on the Forum team in those days when you're on a tour bus in Europe for 2 weeks.
It was like pretty intense, right? The schedule was pretty crazy. Like it was just like one stop after the other. I remember after a few days, I realized I had not eaten for a few days, or at least I think that was Austria, and I got like, because we were partying, so it's always a little better if you have food in your stomach. And I remember like I got so wasted, and I realized like I hadn't had food for a while because we were just like on the road and doing like these gas station stop. It was not always like this. Like we had some really good time off, right? Like I remember in France, like we had some cabins by the ocean, and because probably we had like a day or two between a couple stops. So these trips were lined up super well. But I do remember like um yeah, it must have been like the Fuck It tour, but like I think we were in Austria and I was like, man, this is like crazy. Like the schedule is pretty intense. But yeah, so we're having like some stops. Like we would have the premiere, have a few drinks, and then we'd get back on the bus the same night, sleep in our little pods in the bus,
The
and
nest.
get going, wake up into an other venue or destination, be it London or wherever we were set up to be at next, and we'd just wake up, get out of the bus, and jump right into another either theater or bar or whatever, and like, do this over and over. It was like, I don't know, something out of a dream or a nightmare at some point, but it was really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Steven, were
Daniel,
you in Barcelona when we woke up, like driving into Barcelona? The bus is like 200 degrees, like can't fucking breathe, and we jumped up on the roof, and we got pulled
you
over.
jumped up on the roof. You
Yeah,
jumped up
and
on
then
it.
everybody jumped up on the roof.
I was there.
That was the shit to sit on the roof.
That's what kind of sparked my memory about the tours was like
And
we
then we
got
got
pulled
pulled
over
over by
because
the
you're
cops.
out of the wind, you're out the top
Oh,
of
I
the bus.
remember.
Daniel's like,
Hey, you guys remember the cops
And
with the dogs that
the
came
cops
in
goes
the
to
bus?
Weaver.
oh my god.
The cops goes to Weaver. Hey, that's 3,500 euro in ticket, and he's like freaking out. And I'm like, yo, we got this. And I actually talked him out of it, and it was nice. But
Yeah.
John Jay disappeared in Amsterdam, right? And he never came back.
And
Oh, yeah.
Daniel.
We never saw him after that. He just took off.
Him and Daniel.
And Daniel.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that was the last. That was like one of the last stops, though, wasn't it?
Second to last. The next
Second
one
to
was
last.
Oh.
yeah, second to last.
Yeah.
But Munich was like so far away. But we stayed in
So
Amsterdam.
it was
for, like,
just
2
an
weeks.
extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just stayed there.
Yeah. You
I
want to
just
talk?
remember, like,
You want to talk
What's
about
that?
report?
Huh?
John Jay's expense report from those extra 10 days in Amsterdam was the greatest thing
He
I've ever seen.
sent
how much was the total?
I don't remember the total, but the line items.
I never got that expense. Can I still send that to Burton now?
Oh, we didn't pay it. He tried though.
I'm just kidding.
At least I know I'm not the only one. That's okay. Wow. Yeah, no, I just remember the bus tours being super fun because we would also get a lot of skateboarding in too. But the only problem was like we would skate and get sweaty, and sometimes we wouldn't have time to go to the hotel. So like Kevin, you sent me this photo multiple times, but I just remember showering out of a bucket in the parking lot, like with water and soap, just because we got done skating. We didn't have time to go to the hotel, and yeah, that was it was fun. But yeah, it definitely like by week one, the end of week one, I was just kind of like, dude, I'm so ready to go home.
And one thing worth mentioning, because we talked about social medias just a little bit before, but so none of that existed back then, and people were showing up to the venues, right? Like
Packed
It was
insane. Like
packed.
this would I don't know if
everyone.
this would happen. Like, and it's so sad if this could not happen anymore, because it used to be so cool. And as a kid, I used to go to these premiere, like I remember all the Mac Dog videos in Quebec City. Like we could not wait for these big premieres in theaters and like actual
Yeah.
like events. So and we got to see those back to back all over Europe. Like kids and people were just they were showing up, and and we were selling DVDs back then. Like when you think about
Yeah,
this, it feels like ages ago.
yeah. No, I just remember like every single one of the venues was absolutely packed. Like we'd walk in and it'd be shoulder to shoulder. Like you couldn't even move. Like it was just
Especially
people
Huntington
inside,
Beach.
people
Remember Huntington
outside. Like
Beach?
yeah, Huntington Beach was dope. The Black Bull.
I was
Oh, that's
sick,
the
dude.
one time I went to prison, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
you did go to jail, Nick.
Yes.
Yes. How did that even
So
happen? Go ahead,
so
Kevin.
hold on. That was the vacation year. That's my dog. Don't mind him. That was the
Shut up,
vacation
dog.
year, and we did the premiere on the beach, like right next to the Huntington Beach Pier, because there was that little amphitheater. It was packed. We went to the Black Bull. Nick got arrested. Spent the night in the drunk tank, but I had to pick him up at like 5 in the morning because we had a shuttle to catch to LA to start the Euro bus tour. So it
Yeah.
was like global premiere Huntington Beach.
I remember
Nick
this.
gets arrested. I didn't even get to party that night because I was trying to get him out of jail. And then we got on the bus, flew to
Yeah, but
Munich, and went right to Oktoberfest.
Right into
Yep.
it, like
Right in.
directly into it.
Yeah.
Didn't even have a chance
that
to
was the
recover. I remember.
worst day ever. The Oktoberfest with these Germans screaming with these. I had such a headache. I was just like, dude, I am
I
so
was so
hangover. I
hungover.
cannot handle this. It was
Yeah, but like two
gnarly.
steins later, I was right back into the party, so it was fine.
Yeah.
That was sick. Those were good times. It's funny that Nick got arrested. Like the only person on our team, well, not the only one, but probably the nicest and the best behaving person on our team gets arrested. Like if Travis
why
got
did you
arrested,
get
or I got
arrested?
arrested, or Daniel got arrested, you would understand. But Nick gets arrested, I just don't understand that.
Did you
Yeah.
remember why?
Yeah, I remember why. I was doing like I think it's a Keller move, but you just start like breaking things, right? You just like take people's.
Yes,
I
yes.
was like literally taking people's drinks out of their hands and just smashing them on the ground. And I would turn over, take another one, smash it on the ground. And then at some point, I'm not touching the ground anymore. I'm just being airlifted out of the bar to the jail.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was
I
absolutely
remember
crazy.
Barcelona, Kevin. You smashed the whole bar. I left. I was like, dude, I'm out. Like, I found some local skaters. I'm like, this is
That
sketchy.
that was
Remember
another.
that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just
That's
always made
insane.
people laugh and have fun.
Yeah, we
So
had a lot of fun. I think at a lot of people's
So fun,
expenses at some
though.
point. Yeah.
I was sick.
Yeah, those some
Barcelona.
fun memories, boys.
bill for your lawyer.
What'd you say?
Think you could send me the bill for your lawyer?
Yeah.
Well,
Who said
No,
that?
there's no lawyer, thankfully.
yeah, I guess you did get out. You just got put in the drunk tank. So
Yeah,
Which
it
is
was
a
chill.
lot better than having to go to court. At least you didn't get a ticket.
Yeah.
No.
No, sick. Well, all right, that's those tour
At least
was
you made
sick,
your
man. Those are some
flight.
good memories.
And I made the flight. Yeah, I was really worried I was gonna miss the flight and miss the tour.
That was probably
So
thanks to Kevin though.
Oh, dude,
He wouldn't
probably.
be, he would have been out at 5 in the morning if it wasn't for you. There's no way.
the second I saw you get like carted off, I took an Uber the to the police station, told them the whole explanation, and they're like, he's staying. We could release him at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And so I spent the night. I didn't even go to the after party. I was just trying to figure out like what to do. So the next morning, like I went to bed, woke up at 4:30, pointed it, got you, signed you out. Everything was good, and then I think went back to my house, and the shuttle was there 10 minutes later. Like it was close, but yeah.
Best team intro ever.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad. That's that's dope. The good times. But switching gears, let's talk about a little bit more like in depth on the actual snowboarding part, not the partying part. So obviously we filmed some rad movies at some really dope locations, but I wanted to get a little bit more like deeper into like the actual what it's like to ride for form in those days and the pressure and having to travel. Because what I realized is a lot of people don't understand, like when they're like, oh, you're a professional snowboarder, you snowboard all the time. Like actually I snowboard less than probably the weekend warrior does. We fly, like we're traveling so much, and then we just go scope for a day, and then we just hit rails and we haven't ridden in weeks, right? Like what's it like? And I'll let you go first, Nick. But filming for Forum for what 5 videos? You did 5 video parts with Forum, correct? Maybe 6,
Something like that. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, but I know, and there's a lot of eyes on us too, the spotlight, because of like obviously our predecessors with the Forum 8. But what was it like through your career filming those videos, like from the beginning to the end?
Yeah. Um, well, I mean, there's pressure that comes with, the title of being on the team. And it's always best if this, because I never felt pressure coming from anyone, like I never felt pressure from Kevin or from Knox to like perform, right? Like, and so I think for each of us, like the pressure was coming from within, right? From ourselves. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you all function that way. And that's why we were on the team in the first place. That's because we're just like, we're loving it and we're into it, and pressure comes from ourselves anyway. Um, so like I said, you do want to perform, and from what I can recall, like from the trips that we were on, they were generally like not super long. Like they'd be like 10 days max, right? Like a 10 day trip, 7 to 10 day trip was like what it was, and then you'd go home and reset. So So you're kind of you're flying in, because I remember going to, like, for example, like you're going to Finland for 10 days. You're flying in with all the gear. There's 2 cameramans, there's a photographer, there's a guide over there, or 2 guides that are waiting for you there. All this money spent on this trip, so you want to get some good stuff out of it, right? Um, and then, like you said, Stevie, it was mostly, and that's just the way it works, but it was mostly like figuring out the spots. What is worth spending your time on, your, precious little bit of time that you have over there, and what are you gonna spend it on? Um, and then, yeah, just like try to squeeze not the maximum amount of shots, but the best mix of quality and amount of shots that you can get out of a trip. This is what I can recall, being my main focus. Um, I remember like wanting to finish up the year or finish up the season with a decent part. So I wanted to like get a variety of, tricks to make it like a cool, well-rounded part within what I was into, right? Like I was basically just doing street stuff. So, but even though within the street stuff, you can have a well-rounded uh, right? Like part with a variety of things, showcasing like different aspects of what street riding can be. So for me, that was my main focus, and yeah, pressure was coming from myself to like do something cool.
Yeah. And the one thing I think, Nick, that was really rad we would send the team out to Quebec, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year. But then, like, once everybody moved on, like, into the backcountry and on those crews or whatever else, you would be still doing extracurricular stuff with your own filmer, with like Will Demers,
Yeah,
I think, at the time. And
yeah, you're
so,
right.
even after everything was filmed through December, January, and like February, you were still going into April, and you would come back with stuff that nobody else had because you just kept pushing through like the whole winter.
Yeah, I did that on some for some years. Vacation year, I was like, because I was injured like half the time for this specific season. So I would like go on trips, get hurt. I was flying back to see my chiro or physio, like he was like fixing me up, and then I was able to like squeeze a couple shots before I was in too much pain to like stop riding again. So it was that's that year. But you're right, I was squeezing in these tricks, but from what I remember, it had to do with the fact that I was like injured and not able to like commit to these full trips and like get on the regular schedule. Because I know some years, for example, like fuck it year, it was all like full on forum trips, and I did not have more footage outside of the team trips. But you're probably right. Like the first chair last call year, I had a lot of good stuff. Like my ender tricks were from uh, Will, my private filmer, and my other friends who got to be like well known for their writing, right? Like I used to write with Louis, who's still going, still one of
Yeah,
my
he's a
best friends,
treasure.
and he's still like
So
almost full
Such a
on
G.
going after it,
He's such a
which
G,
is
dude.
pretty insane. And like these other guys like LNP that got, to have a few really good years and were like staples of street riding. Um, but yeah, it was helpful to have these guys around. Mm. And I remember those guys were part of the motivation. Like it was so big for me to be on forum, and I was like, oh, I want those guys to be proud of what I'm doing too. Like we were really, really tight. Um, and and for them was big. It was big for them, right? That was on that I ended up on the main team on forum. Like they were pretty stoked for me.
I set a high
Yeah.
standard. Like
Well, we
Quebec,
we set up high standards like within our group. Yeah, and we had these things like I don't know, how would I say that? Some criterias of performance or criterias of excellence, right? Like there's like a non-written book of what you can and what you cannot do, like the angles of a board for specific tricks, like this is how it's got to be done. If it's not that way, like it might look like you landed it, but it's not proper, right? So, and these were like unwritten rules that we had between each others, and we just knew by looking at each other's, yeah, he's gonna do it again. And someone else would have thought that the trick was fine, but like I don't know, we were kind of doing it for our own nerdy, right? Like nerdy jib standards.
But I kind of think that standard like kind of was across the board though, because we have those same standards too. Like you can't have, you can't be doing a front board and be, zeeching it, not saying anything bad about zeech,
No,
but
no,
just
yeah,
like
you're
having
right,
like or a
but
soggy board on a 5.0 or a tap in. Like I think those standards were just kind of across the board. Some people held themselves to the standard, and some people don't. Let's just be honest.
yeah, yeah, but I remember the guys from Quebec, they're extra like I don't know, pointy on these things, and that's probably why a lot of them like got to have like memorable parts. And anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's dope. And Daniel, like, I know you did some street stuff, but you were obviously, a big park jump guy and backcountry. But what was your mindset around that, and your experience filming for Forum, and yeah, just being in that spotlight for many years.
Yeah, it got serious, like it was no joke. We woke up like between like 4:30 in the morning till 6:30 at the latest. If you like Nathan and we were out driving to all the Rutherford spots, and like we were early, Forum was the first crew always at the parking lot. Like always. And we could always pick whatever we wanted when we got up there. We were just like we were the first. If we wanted to hit the mother, we were always first. And I remember, the Devon Walsh, like the big Devon Walsh road gap. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to do the double on that one, and I remember me and Nathan was like, okay, if we're gonna do that, we will be up, like we were there like 5 in the morning patting it down. I remember Tadashi Fuse coming up, and he was just like, he was so confused that we was already before him at this cliff. He was like, he didn't know what to do, but he obviously hit the one on the other side, and we had a good session. So, but yeah, it was sick, dude. Like all like the mountains you get to experience, and all like the nature you get to see, and with your snowmobile in the powder is like the best feeling ever. So
It's a grind
definitely,
though, dude. The streets
it's a
are like,
grind. It's like it's
yeah.
serious, and then like you pat down this huge jump all day, and then time to hit it, and that's like it gets serious. Like there's no joke standing on this cliff, and it's like fucking pretty big, you know.
Dude, I'm always gonna remember watching you, Daniel, like pointing it. Was it? I can't. It was in Tahoe. I can't remember which resort that was, but the your double backside rodeo 10 on the gap jump, like the park
Oh, in
Was
jump
that the
before you
squaw?
got
Squaw. Were
injured.
you there
Squaw.
in
Yeah,
Squaw?
I was watching. I was with.
Belly follow.
Um,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
on the
yeah,
side.
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, that was like such a commitment. And back then, I don't know, like these doubles, like the way you did it, weren't like that
Fuck,
mainstream,
I did
right?
a
I don't know,
sick
like,
front 10 too, but I never seen that shot. I know I did a sick front 10. I never seen it.
but dude,
It's
Because that
almost
was
anyway,
my
like
like,
hard
trick.
like this.
drive.
Front 10 was like, that was my trick. Front 10,
Yeah.
that was like my go-to. But that jump was sketchy because that was like you had the in run and you had to turn in the in run, and then right before the jump you had to straighten out and then hit the jump, you know?
Oof.
And we
And you
started
were,
like
you
me
guys
and
were
John
barely
started all the
making
way
it.
up in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were barely making it. Like the speed was limit.
Yeah.
It was super warm and slushy. Like the snow, we had to salt like every 3 drops. Like the
Yeah.
park crew was just constantly.
Was that the
Salting,
squaw
yeah.
shoot where Kennedy had to leave early to go to his sound check?
No, that was annoying. When he
No,
rolled
okay.
up.
That was Sierra. Remember
that was
Sierra
Squad. That
though?
was-
When
that
me
was-
and Kennedy hit that quarter pipe. That shit was sick.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, from
You remember that,
team
Kevin?
manager perspective,
Kind of.
When we
Kev-
lit that, it was like in the nighttime, and it was a quarter pipe, and we had a projector who lit like a camo
oh
jacket
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that was a special blend campaign.
No,
Yeah,
so that's the we were
that shit.
like we did. I did mine at Mountain High. I do remember that one.
That was a
Kevin,
different-
That
real
was
quick,
a
just-
420. Me and Kennedy was ripping bongs off the top. Fucking
Doesn't surprise me.
shooting.
Right.
We can get into
Kennedy,
1,000 stories with
Kennedy's like,
Travis
dude,
Kennedy.
it's 420. It's 420.
Yeah.
We got to do this. You know.
Kevin, from a logistical standpoint, and a team manager, and being in house and being on the road, like a little, you're really versatile in that. But what was it like just helping keeping the wheels moving, keeping everybody motivated, getting them gear? Because I mean, there's a lot of work moving parts when you're dealing with 10 to 12 professional athletes that are some are here, some are there, and then we're always constantly moving. What was it like keeping that whole thing moving from an in-house perspective?
Everybody contributed. Like Knox was doing his thing like at a 30,000 foot level, like he'd be working months ahead to kind of deal with like all the negotiations with resorts on park shoots. He kind of divided the team into like parts where it was like, you guys know this.
A team and B team. Let's not bullshit. A team and B team. I love you, Knox.
But I think like there was a lot of like Nick pointed out, you guys were motivated internally, like to your own standards, and to produce like something that you could be proud of. So that part was never hard. I think some guys were needed more of a hand than others. Like Nick, I never had to do anything for except send him product and tell him where to be. And like, I wouldn't even have a chance to book him flights. He would just go do it most of the time. Like, so there were dudes like him. There were other guys, Stevie, who needed a little more hand holding along the way. But, in all honesty, like it was so much fun, and it was something that I cared so much about, because I grew up watching snowboard videos, and to just like be a part of that and support you guys. I mean, there were times like I'd have to wake up at 2 a.m. because somebody went to jail or missed their flight. And it was like, I had the logistics all planned out, and then a wrench would get thrown in the machine. And it's just like, you figure it out as you go, but it was just fun. And you guys you were my boys, like, I think that's the other thing too. Like, a lot of other riders, when they filmed with, a Mac Dog or, I can't even think anymore. Like the other videos, but
Standard, yeah.
like they're thrown in
Accent.
with dudes from like other teams and other sponsors. I mean, you guys just film together all the time. So I think the other part of it was like this level of camaraderie that like a lot of other brands didn't get. Like the lifestyle and BTS part of our videos, I think was equally as interesting as like the riding, because you guys were just like best friends. And even the filmers and photographers that you were with were just like embedded in it. So there were all these like authentic, like genuine moments constantly, because you guys were just like a traveling circus. It was sick. Ups and downs for sure. I think the hardest part for me was injuries, taking people to the hospital. I mean, Daniel, that shit in Squaw was to this day the worst thing I've ever seen, like in my life.
Dude, that was gnarly. I'm glad I didn't break my back, bro. Straight up.
Dude, I can't believe
But you saved me there, though. I couldn't even remember that I got to the hospital, but I remember that first who I saw was John when I woke up at the hospital, and then you drove me back to LA.
Yeah, I remember we had you in the
with the cops pulling you over, and they just like let you go because I was so hurt. They're like, okay, you can just drive,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Actually, I was gonna dive into that too about injuries, because that's one thing I did want to talk about. Daniel's your hill, but I just wanted to just highlight too. I think that's another part of like being a professional athlete, especially in action sports, that some people know, but I think it gets overlooked a little bit too. Is like the risk factor. And I've been hurt in Norway where I separated my shoulder. We've all been hurt in different countries, but it's kind of scary when you're in another country and you get hurt because you're so far away from home. It's not like you can just go to the emergency room and then get back to your bed. Like you've got, thousands of miles to fly or hours to get home. And that's one of those things it's what I respect about all you guys and anybody in action sports, because it's so fucking gnarly to put your life on the line and then have shit happen. Like Daniel's accident, or like when Eddie went to the hospital in Quebec, and then Nick, when you got hurt in the backcountry up in Tahoe or in Montana, and then you had to drive yourself back and came to my house and just dropped your shit off here and then had to go home. Do you remember that? Like those are things that I don't think people really understand that actually goes on in the background of making these videos, is like the punishment we put on our body and like the risk that we take.
Yeah.
I got wheelchaired out of Japan. Were you there, Kevin?
Oh yeah,
My
yeah.
spleen.
So,
That was gnarly. Holy shit.
well,
I thought my hip
pump
was
the brakes really
broken.
quick, because I want to touch on what you said, Nick, about getting hurt in Japan, because you and Jake got hurt the same day, I believe. But I just wanted to touch more.
Oh,
on,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. But hold on, Nick. I'm gonna come right back to you, because since we were already talking about Daniel's injury, because I think I was there, but I don't think I saw it. Maybe I wasn't there, but like,
No, this was a U.S. Open. Kevin was there.
Oh, so
remember
okay, I wasn't there.
Kevin,
So,
it was actually Luke Mitrani who saved me, because I was just laying on the side, and I
is
just
that when you
felt a
broke your
little
heel, or
pain
is
in
that
my
when you did your
stomach.
spleen?
This
Spleen.
is my spleen.
So tell me about the
So
spleen.
we
I
did
never
like
really heard
we
about
did
that
like the contest all day, and we were like kids, so we I think we snowboard for like 10 hours, and we like, oh, let's go skate the 2 next hours of the day, and then I took my spleen, and then I got flown out to New York, and then but Kevin was there, so Kevin been through a lot of injuries and taking care of like almost kids that gonna die, because it's kind of gnarly. Like the spleen was gnarly. I remember that was insane.
The spleen was rough. Your heel. I mean, I was in Finland when Cam broke his back on that down flat down, and had to go there. I mean, I can't tell you how many hospitals I've been in and how many different countries. Some better than others, but I will say, like, it is funny, and for you guys not being Americans, but like the pushback that this country has on, single payer healthcare. Like every time I went to a hospital in a different country with one of you guys, like everybody was always well taken care of and there were no
Yeah.
questions asked. Like it was really
Yeah.
easy. Like
But
Finland,
don't you
Japan,
remember?
like
Easily.
Do you
Yeah.
remember this though, Kevin? When I took my spleen, the hospital in New York, they sent the bill to Forum, they sent the bill to my parents and my insurance company to see if they got triple paid, and that bill was like 150 grand.
yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and they
Holy
try to
shit.
scam us. These New
Yeah.
York.
That's American healthcare. We can get into that, but
Yeah, I remember
another one I
Forum
wanted to.
called my dad and was like, "Hey, should we pay this heli?" No, don't pay anything. Like we have full European insurance, that covered us. So yeah,
yeah. The Japan
remember
one
that.
was gnarly because that spot that we went to was so far out in this like field. And I remember, I don't
Yeah.
know if you or Welch that got hurt first, Nick, but one of you
But that
went
was
down.
on the gap, right? The two
Yeah.
The
like
egg.
monuments, whatever, and yeah,
And you shot into the channel like right on your back. And I think Jake did the same thing. And we had to get you guys out of there like on this makeshift, like the big shovels that were like the scoops. We had to
Yeah,
put those
the
together.
shit pusher.
Yeah, like and put you guys in that and tow you
Gnarly.
500 yards. And then our guide was tripping because he's like, dude, we're not even supposed to be here. And he was super sketched out on even calling an ambulance.
that was
it was,
Hajime, right?
yeah, it was Hajime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we ultimately got you guys out of there and no like questions were asked. But yeah, I remember both you and Jake within 10 minutes of each other
Yeah.
were like getting carted off. And that
And the
was
crazy thing about that too was like, don't you remember how deep the snow was everywhere? It wasn't like you could just walk across the park. Like the snow was deep.
yeah, we were post holing in
Yeah.
the city. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Japan is so sick.
Yeah,
It's
but Nick, tell us
insane.
your experience on like your like what you remember about that, because it just happened so fast that it was almost like I was in disbelief. Like boom, you went down, and then boom, Jake went down. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we fell like flies, right? Like just
Yeah, boom, boom, and I was like,
finished.
oh man.
What did you do after? Were you by yourself filming?
No, it was me, Nico, and Cam left.
Cam was there
I
too.
couldn't remember they were
Yeah,
there.
no, yeah,
Hmm.
Cam was wait, no, me and Nico. I know Nico was there,
Nico
so I
was
think it
there.
was just me, Nico. I swear Cam was with us. Maybe
Maybe.
not.
But so I
But it
fell,
was
yeah, so I fell down. I thought my hip or yeah, I thought my hip were broken, but in the end, so I got the diagnosis when I got home because they did the scans in Japan and I couldn't figure out what they were saying, but they were like, no, nothing is broken, but my hand was broken. So I had a broken hand, but that was the least of my concern. They confirmed in Japan that my hand was broken. Um, but I thought I was not able to walk. I could not place one step in front of like one foot in front of the other. So I was like, for sure, my hips are broken. But then when I got home, they figured it was a ligament. It's a torn ligament that's like in your pubis. I don't know if pubis is the right term, right? It's just like
Yeah.
it's where I don't know what these bones are called, but anyway, so I ruptured a ligament or yeah, they were ligaments.
That
Anyway,
sounds fucking gnarly.
yeah.
It was
yeah, but in the end, it was like not too bad because I was able to snowboard that summer. That probably happened in March, right, Kevin? Like that. This was like a late season for street riding. It was a late trip.
I think it was earlier than that, wasn't it? Like
it
February?
was I think it
But
was early
maybe
because
okay.
Japan typically doesn't get hit super late, and we're in Sapporo.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, so like I went home and but it just ended up fixing itself. Like everything fixed itself, and I rode this same summer and um yeah, I rode Camp of Champions that summer, and yeah, it was fine.
But then again though, like it brings me back to the point I was saying earlier. It's like you get hurt and you're thousands of miles away from home, And not only are you injured, then you got to go sit on a plane and get home to where you can actually
Yeah,
like
I got home. So I
heal.
got home by myself with like the biggest board bag you can imagine. But I got carried at all the, layovers in the Trent. I was in a wheelchair, so I flew first class. Uh, but because of that, because my legs had to be straight, and then each airport I went to, I had someone carrying me, carrying the luggage. Yeah, I was just not able to walk, but it worked fine. I was just by myself. It was pretty miserable.
Yeah, dude. I just remember that trip, like going home. You left, Jake left, and I had Jake's board bag, my board bag, and my luggage bag. So it was a nightmare getting it home. Like
Oof.
going back to Tokyo with both the board bags, my luggage bag, and my backpack. And I just remember like getting to the airport, and I just used the locker and I just checked everything in, and then me and Pettit went partied for 2 days, which was pretty sick. But then when I
I
got back to the
remember
airport, I was
like
like, oh
getting
shit, I got these bags again. Go ahead.
I remember getting good insurance was part of our job.
No, yeah,
Because
definitely.
that I don't know what you guys were on, but for me, I don't know if it's because I'm Canadian, but the only company that would insure me was Lloyd's from London, which is a pretty big insurance company. Um, but so I had the same coverage as a F1 driver. This is what I was labeled as far as
Wise.
liability and risk.
Yeah.
I was like the worst shit they can insure in the world.
I've been kicked off like 5 insurance companies through my career easily.
Okay.
Just because I told them, I was like, they asked what do you do for a living, I say marketing, and then they find out what marketing really means, and they're like, no, bro, you're not in marketing, homie, you're a stuntman. So yeah,
Luck-
Yeah, it was stuntman insurance.
yeah. Go ahead, Kevin.
You're lucky. They could have
What?
easily been like, you don't work in marketing and just not paid.
Well, I mean, I got
Even,
kicked
What
off.
we were lucky is that like
unfortunately,
get paid enough to get these good insurance.
Yes, absolutely. What were you saying,
but
Kevin?
I think your rates still weren't crazy, Nick. Like you were still paying less than an American for like that
Easily.
insane policy. But Stevie,
You're
I don't.
probably right.
You never had like a really like bad injury. Like you were pretty. I mean, you had your bumps and bruises and would tweak shit, but like Daniel's been through some shit. Nick's been through some shit. Like you were
Yeah, knock
pretty.
on wood.
Yeah, you were pretty fortunate in like the big picture of things. You know.
Yeah, because I mean, I went down hard a lot, but I never really had. I think the only thing I ever injured was I split I separated my shoulder in Sun Valley, and then Nick, I remember like in Norway, I did that 180 switch 50 cab 3, and I caught and I like split the into my bone. I was out for like a week, and then I partially tore my MCL, and other than that, it was pretty much that was it.
Yeah.
Just sprains and stuff like that. So got pretty fortunate on that aspect of it. Which
Daniel,
is
you were pretty outside of your heel and your spleen. Like, I don't remember you getting hurt a whole ton. I feel like you had this.
I felt like I was on crutches every summer after the season, but
Yeah.
well, it's because you
But
don't know how to
I
get a landing.
I did my lungs too at Folgefonda.
Yeah.
Overshot
Yeah.
the jump and land on the back, and it just my lungs just exploded. So I had to be flown out. But those are the 3 heaviest, I think.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
that was.
everybody on our team went through at
And the
least something pretty heavy.
collarbone was pretty painful too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember
Well-
there were a lot of times where you got really lucky.
I
Like-
remember Jake Welsh in Montana when he did his shoulder out of place and we couldn't get it back, and Pat had to drive him out. That was the gnarliest shit.
Oh,
That
that's
was probably
way
the
out
most
there, too.
gnarly I ever experienced. Somebody in pain for that many hours, you know.
Yeah.
That was hardcore. And we were
Shit,
in Montana in Cook City, so you had to drive 3.5 hours out just to get out of the park, and then it was like another hour to the hospital. So I think he was like his shoulder was out for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Before he got it back.
That's the life we live. But I know we're running out of time here, boys. We got 7 minutes left, but I did want to talk about a big important part of all of our careers. And I know that I left right before Forum was like kind of dissolved, but Nick, you were on Forum after they dissolved. Kevin, you were still there in your transition to Burton. Daniel, I don't know if you were on Forum when it closed, but I did want to talk about that chapter in our careers because I kind of feel like that was like such a, I guess I'm going to say, lack of a better word, like an interesting day when I heard Forum was being closed. And I just kind of looked back like, damn, man, we had so much history and this brand's gone. When I felt grateful to be part of it, but I was also sad that it's going away. But Nick, I'll let you go first because you were still on Forum. But like, what was your reaction to like being on the team and having a ride and all of a sudden it's gone?
Yeah, that was a big blow. Because I remember very well getting the call from Knox. I was driving from Quebec to Burlington, Vermont, to Burton headquarters. Because I was having a Anon goggle shoot, marketing shoot. So I'm like driving. It's a 4-hour drive, and I get this call, and Knox is like, "Are you sitting somewhere? Like, are you comfortably seated?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I have some big news. I'm like, "Just go for it," and I'm driving, and he and like almost crashed the truck. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I didn't say much, but I was like, "This is. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, what can you do?" Um, so yeah, it was a hard, really hard because it came with no warning, and I don't know. I think I was I don't know. Like I'm speaking fully open. Like uh, it must have been brewing for a little bit, right, Kevin? Like it
Dude,
just like
I was as surprised as you were. Like I didn't know what
okay,
was happening. Like Brian told me that day too. So, because I remember just
yeah.
being
No, I'm not pointing
scared.
anyone. It's just like
Oh, no.
yeah, it came that way for many people, including you. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, I think 2 days before getting the news, I was coming back from a forum marketing shoot in California. But anyway, so it was done. I got pretty lucky because and I think uh shit, I forgot my who was my agent. What's his name?
Who
I don't
was
know.
at the time?
Fuck that agent, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but he worked that one time he worked for me very well. Um
Because you transitioned to analog,
anyway,
right?
yeah, so I was with Analog, but anyway, so someone got to get my contract transferred to well, I mean our contracts were on Burton. So
Yeah.
my Forum contract was like honored through Burton, even though Forum was finished.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I had a 3-year contract when I got the news, and I had 1 year done. So it's either 1 or 2 year, but anyway, so I got like an easy transition where I could get paid and get Burton gear. I was not promoted. I was not on the Burton team or
Yeah.
anything, but at least I could like keep on riding, uh, keep getting compensated for the year that was left on the contract. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, and yeah, helped me out with a transition, and I got to like, because getting this news all of a sudden, like there was definitely some unfinished business, like I still wanted to get like a couple good parts. So and I did just that. I had 3 more years of writing, and I produced 2 more parts, and then I took the decision like, and I think it's interesting to get into that. I know we don't have much time, but um taking a fully like a purposeful or like a full-on decision to like stop, because if you want to commit to new sponsors, right, you kind of have to like start over, and you have to give them something, right, like you have to give your 100%, like if you want to start over with new sponsors, it's like starting a new relationship. um and I was like, I don't know, I felt like I could not deliver. I was not going to be able to deliver, and I did not want to milk any opportunities with new sponsors, so I was just like, that's fine. Like I've done what I wanted. I have those 3 extra years of being compensated, and I can ride and produce some more parts. And then I made this decision to just be like, okay, I'm pulling the plug. It's fine. Like I've had some of the best times in the world. Like I feel like I'm one of the luckiest person, like, like as lucky as someone can be to have experienced those years with one of the best teams in snowboarding I was looking up to as a kid. I've been injured, but not enough to be like fully impaired, right? And yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna pull the plug and that's it. And I'm gonna finish with that. But the years following pulling the plug and not going on snowboard trips, these first winters following like taking this decision of not traveling anymore and not producing parts, they were tough.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
Yeah,
Those were so
yeah,
hard right after.
yeah,
yeah. The transition
they
period
were the
is rough.
worst. And
Yeah,
I found my uh, evasion, or I don't know what's the word, solace. I don't know.
your
You know,
purpose or
I
your
found,
yeah. But go ahead.
I don't know. I found a way to like get these thoughts of like what I'm missing out. I felt like I was missing out on life. Like all of a sudden, you're just like not going through this like insane schedule of filming, traveling, and blah blah blah, and these adrenaline rush like every week or every day or so, you know. So I transitioned into like other sports that somehow got me out of. I had to do something else. Like I could not just keep on riding. I wanted to like make a separation. So I got into more like endurance sports, such as biking, I even do Nordic skiing now, like and trail running and these kind of things. I just had to get my body moving and into like other really like opposite areas of what snowboarding was, and it really helped me out. Um, yeah,
No,
that's
that's
about
cool,
it.
man. Yeah, everybody deals with it differently, but that's cool. I similar. I had to transition and use skating and motocross as like my outlet. But this episode is brought to you by BYOB, Be Your Own Banker. Visit BeYourOwnBanker.com. Also brought to you by PMC, Private Money Club. There are only two types of people in the world: people with money and people who need money. There's only one community that solves both problems. PrivateMoneyClub.com is the only dating site for money. Daniel, tell us your outlook from that whole thing. Were you on form when they dissolved, or were you already gone?
No, I got fired before. I got fired like not when the new team got like the new team was like Nick, Jake, Pat. Who else was it? It was not the punks. Like it was you, me, all the punks who got fired first, and then it was supposed to be like the forum team, and then they did like the Nick said they did like the promo shoot and stuff, and then they got taken down. Right?
Would
That's
you
how I
think?
remember it. Like we got fired
Yeah, that
first, and then they created
sounds.
like the new forum team with Andreas Vig, Jake Wells, Nic Sauve, Pat, and it was not that many left.
John Jay, yeah.
No, I think John Jay
No,
was
John
gone.
Jay
He was
went to
on
Burton,
Burton for a
and
while.
Oh, John,
Kevin,
yeah,
you
he's
went
already at Burton.
to Kevin went to Burton, right? You went to
I went
Burton.
I went to
Oh
Burton
yeah, there was
after.
the new marketing team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you guys had John Spiris as your TM
Oh
after me.
yeah, oh yeah. I forgot
Yeah.
about Spears. What's up, Spears? But
So
Daniel, what was your first reaction when you heard the brand was gone? Like,
Yeah, it was always a heartbreaker, you know, like you've been trying to do this snowboarding your whole life, and you're just like you finally got there, and then it's just like done. So you're like it's like Nick said, you have to like find other resources to like I started cleaning windows, you know, so hanging from these skyscrapers, like scared as fuck. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this sucks. But after that, you're like, get into working, you get like a normal life, and it's actually nice, you know, and like get into mountain biking, like Nick said, like that saved me. Like, I'm going digging dirt tomorrow. That shit is super fun and like, yeah, creative, you know, and I still love snowboarding. I still go, like, I did bang slalom this year just for fun, and you know, it's like it's nice to do it sometimes, you know.
no, for sure.
Beat Terry and snow skate, but not really.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Kevin, what like you
That
tell
was
us your
pretty funny
transition.
actually, because I couldn't get
You beat Terry,
registered.
really?
No, actually I didn't, but he registered me, so he had two beepers, and he put them both in his pocket. So I actually wrote with his name, and he wrote with my name. So
Oh,
he knew that on snow skate, and I kind of knew it because I didn't have my snow skate boots, so I was in snowboard boots. So I was fucking so sketchy every turn, but I rode pretty good. I still got third place, But it was pretty funny because Terry got called out on third place, and then I got called up on first place. And Terry's such a bad loser, so he stole my jetty, like this cooler I won. Terry's like, "This is mine. I know I won." He like starting to steal all my like stuff at the top. It's pretty funny.
That's it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Kevin, you were gone before Farms, but so you already went to Burton. But what was your reaction when you heard like Knox gave you the call and the brand was gone after spending so much time with us lovely people?
Yeah, I mean, it was weird to see because I wanted, seeing Spirus take over. Like, I wanted him to succeed and like have that opportunity. And it sucks that it got cut short for everybody. I think, from my experience, when I got let go from Burton, I think the hardest thing for me, and I mean, you guys can confirm, but it was kind of like, I don't want to say like I lost my sense of purpose, but like definitely an identity thing. Because overnight it was like, hey, you're not going to be traveling with all your friends anymore. Hey, like, you're not the industry guy anymore. Like, and that was such a big part of like who I was, like the way my friends around, like back home saw me, the way like you guys saw me. And I was really afraid that I was going to lose all my friends that I traveled with, like you guys and everybody else along the way. And I think that was like the biggest thing. It was like a fuck, I got to start over.
Yeah.
And that was just, it happens to everybody at some point. And I'm glad to say that like 15 years later, I'm still chatting with you guys. Stevie, like, we talk all the time. Nick, Daniel, we got to figure something out because it's been way too long. But like, your true
Cabo
friends.
We
trip.
talk sometimes. We talk
Yeah.
sometimes.
We're gonna
for sure.
we're gonna do Cabo trip soon.
Oh
Oh,
God. Oh God. I
was
was gonna
fun.
touch on that one, but Cabo was insane. I don't think we need. I think everybody kind of knows how Cabo went, but yeah, no,
I remember
continue,
that,
Kevin.
Stevie. Remember, I
Oh my
remember me and
God,
Stevie.
dude.
Me and him. We went
They almost
out
didn't let
to
me
the
back on the
club.
plane because I smelled like tequila.
Huh?
They almost didn't let me on the plane to go home because I smelled like tequila.
Yeah, that shit was.
It
Yeah.
was bad.
I remember
We don't.
Stevie.
We don't need to go into it anyway. It's
Actually, this is a great one for Stevie because when I left Forum, the first trip I went on with Burton was Rail Days in Tokyo. And Stevie, you came out for that.
Oh yeah.
And do you remember I went out the last night and I partied and I didn't come home until like 7 in the morning and we had a flight and I was so drunk and still hungover that you actually like got me out of the bus. You packed my shit for a change and it was just like,
Wow,
it came full circle where like
full
Stevie
circle.
actually had to take care of me for a second, which was such a cool.
That was
like,
me paying you back for leaving your bags on the curb your first trip.
yeah,
Full
but you
circle.
like you stepped up, and I remember you were like, "Dude, you're," good." And you came into my room, you packed my bags, you like put your shoulder or my arm over your shoulder and like walked me down the lobby. I was so toasted. And
I
like,
think I was like pretty
so
good because I didn't go out very long that night. I was so toasted after riding the contest. I like went out and just went home early, just
Yeah.
fell asleep. So it worked
I don't
out.
I don't think I thanked you fully for that. So like, thanks, bro.
Hey, the law of reciprocation. I owed it to you. So.
You did.
Well, no, hey boys. I know that we're at 1 o'clock, and I don't want to keep you guys all day long. I know it's Sunday, but I just want to say I'm so stoked to be able to share these memories with you guys and like be able to travel the world with you guys and have some amazing times. I hope we all can get together again soon. So if you guys have anything in closing, now's the time to say it. So we don't just like jump out there. Like Nick, go first if you got something to say, like in closing, and then Daniel, and then Kevin, and we'll wrap this shit up.
Yeah. Well, Stevie, thanks for putting this together, right? Like, um, it's pretty amazing, and chatting with you guys is definitely bringing out some good memories. It literally feels like I saw you guys yesterday. I don't know how it
Seriously.
feels for you guys, but
yeah.
it's
That's
fucking
facts, dude.
insane.
Yeah.
And realizing it's been this long, I'm like, whoa, it's gonna bring in tears in my eyes.
For
But
sure.
yeah, I miss you. I miss you, boys.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Hell yeah, Nick! I'm hyped. That you're
Yeah,
gonna make it.
dude. I
Go
want to
ahead,
say the
Daniel.
same. We should do a reunion. Let's do a reunion, forum reunion. That would
I'm
be so fun.
I'm all in. Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be super fun.
It would be insane.
We
Just
should
tell
all
me
go to
where to
Haldo's
fly.
Cream
I'm gonna go
Fest.
see you
That shit
guys.
was really, really fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dan, you
I
got any
think
closing words?
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you, Stevie. And yeah, I wish we could all hang out soon and with the maybe go to Japan like a forum trip, like old school times. Just ride POW,
Do a
do
fun
something
riding
fun.
trip. That would be
Oh my god,
crazy.
so.
Yeah, life goes fast. It's like it's time to maybe get that going.
Maybe better than a
Me and
Cabo
Stevie have been
trip.
talking about it before. We actually been talking about Japan, going to Japan. So maybe we should just like crew up and do a team trip.
that'd
Yeah,
be sick, man.
Japan pow
Just
trip.
for like
Sick.
10 days, a little
It,
quick 10 days.
I think it's gonna be a little bit harder nowadays because Nick's got 2 girls, I got 2 girls, Jake's got 2 girls, John Jay's got 2 girls. Who else?
Yeah.
Everybody has girls like on our
Karma.
team. It's so crazy. Shut up, uh, Kevin. Kevin, what's yeah? In closing, man, what do you have to say? Like, grateful to have you as our team manager, man. It's been a blessing.
Thanks,
But
dude.
yeah, go ahead.
No, everything everybody else said. Like, miss you, dudes. It's awesome to be able to just like pick up where we left off. Uh, let's seriously talk about a Japan trip because I think you guys
Yeah, I'm
can be
down
babysitters. That
for
would be
sure.
so fun. And then lastly, like something I've been thinking about, and Nick, I think this would be huge on you when you get home. Can you send Stevie some St. Hubert's? Because I think he
Please,
hasn't scratched
please.
in a long time.
I'm itching. St.
The
Hubert's is
chicken
so
and
gas,
waffle
dude.
place. The chicken and
Yeah,
waffle
dude.
place.
Chicken and waffles.
I went
Yeah,
there
St.
not long
Hubert's.
ago, man.
That place is fire. That
It's
place,
still good. Yeah, I think it's even better. The recipes, they
oh,
got them even like they improved them. It's so good.
send me a chicken finger basket with gravy, please.
Figure, oh, really? The fingers? All right.
Yeah, dude, yeah. That I always got the French fries and the chicken, and then like the gravy that comes on the side was just.
Yeah, that's what my girls get. That's what my 6-year-old gets when she goes there.
I'm 40 and I'll still get down on it. Hell yeah, boys. Well, hey, like I said, it's been a blessing. I'm so hyped to know you guys and call you friends and share all these memories. So, yeah, I think that's a wrap. Thanks for joining the podcast, and yeah, this has been an amazing experience.
Thanks for joining us on episode 10. It was so sick to reminisce with the boys. Stay tuned for episode 11. We got something special for you.